Well, hello everyone. You have right here of talking about for the time is yours, and then talking about with the ocean right here, and you see this right here that I went ahead and put the details right here of talk about the two people talking right here, and you have right here you can call this an example right here, example right here of me right here, but still that you see this right here of talking about that this right here was supposed to be two people talking, and let's just say that if they were to be meeting somewhere and talking about with time is yours right here. So I was just thinking that yeah, make a 5 hours available and then uncertainty for unknown, and at the very last minute right here. But the way I drew this right here was showing right here is that yeah, for talk about for time is yours, and so what exactly does that mean when we do talk about time is yours right here? And so everybody would want to know too that yeah, if you're talking about for walking along the ocean right here, and in case if anybody's wondering too that I don't know if anybody is really familiar with any poetry or something like that, any riddles or rhymes or anything like that, or poetry. Whenever you do write any source of sentence like walking along the ocean right here, and but still that if I were to add right here of talking about time is yours, and and we're probably thinking as toward okay, yeah, what exactly does that mean? Time is yours. And if I were to maybe actually change that around, and like everybody may want to know too, that yeah, if you want to change the type fonts right here, and so it's like whenever you think about that, yeah, time is yours. I guess it's basically another way of stating to where that spare time or something like that. But still, I'll go ahead and put right here, yeah, time is yours, and so if there was like any sort of logo design or something like that that showed time is yours right here. And so you're one oh two that yeah, do you think that maybe any application would maybe say something like that to where that yeah, time is yours, meaning is to where that you are more than welcome to go ahead and put whichever you want. And let's just say if there was any space like down right here where you'll be able to, yeah, free your mind for anything that you want to put, on an application or something like that. So in case if anybody's wondering toward it, yeah. So if there was maybe a full complete sentence like maybe right here to where that you had to answer a few questions or anything like that, and but let's just say that talking about whenever you start out with the sentence to where that you're walking along the ocean, to where time is yours right here. So if I were to put that right there and just kind of like wondering to where the, yeah, walking alongside, yeah, walking along the ocean right here. And I can maybe put on here, yeah, walking along the beach. And, walking along the beach right here. And, so when we think about that, then you begin to wonder to where that okay, yeah, that when we do speak about walking along, if it's going to be walking, yeah, walking along the beach right here or something like that. Time is yours right here, and so you want to know too that if you're going to be looking at any source of logo design by chance, and then you're thinking as to it, okay, yeah, that you would maybe state something like that to where time is yours right here, and so yeah, what exactly does that mean? Well, that pretty much means is to where that try to make you feel a little bit more confident whenever it comes to if you were to actually be working on something, and like everybody might say that one way of how to describe the time is yours means is toward that there's a few less restrictions about what you can what you have to do, and then maybe just to free your mind a little bit with with all the work that has to be done. And like everybody might say that, yeah, walking along the ocean, walking along the beach right here. And I mean, I really don't know if anybody that maybe asked me too that do you think that maybe that walking along the beach should be the first you start off the sentence with walking along the beach or something like that. Then you put a period right there, and then you put a period, and then you put a comma like about right here or something like that. Yeah, walking along the beach. The time is yours, and walking along the beach right here. So every time you think about that, and you do begin to wonder that whenever you do think about that knowing about complete sentences, and you're thinking as to it, okay, yeah, that right there, if that right there is supposed to be a complete sentence right there, but still talking about with the ocean right here, that whenever you do look at this right here and thinking as to where, yeah, time is yours right here, the very last minute right here, and so I was just thinking as to where that I want to work on this right here just because of the fact that just to show everybody that, yeah, that you have right here is this drawing right here, the example right here of me right here, and so it was like, yeah, whenever I was working on this, I was just thinking that you go ahead and paint this like if you were actually be walking along the beach right here, and I was just thinking also if I wanted to add maybe a sandcastle or something like that, maybe a starfish or a dolphin or something like that in the background there. But still, that when we do speak about the ocean right here and thinking as toward, okay, yeah, that you got right here is the beach, the ocean right here, and you're thinking is that yeah, you go ahead and draw the details right here of the beach, of the ocean, and thinking as to where that, yeah, right here that I have, yeah, I drew this right here. This right here was supposed to be like a backpack, like if I was going to be walking along the beach right here, and like everybody would say is to where that, yeah, you're going to be walking along the beach, and maybe if you got book, a few papers and maybe some some books or something like that in that backpack right there, and so yeah, so it's like so whenever I think about that and thinking as toward, okay, yeah, that if you were to actually be meeting somebody, and let's just say that you start talking to them about the stuff that you've been working on or something like that, yeah, especially at the very last minute, and so really, how do you think that you would respond to a situation like everybody might say that, especially the very last minute? So, in case of anybody's want to know too, that if you want to maybe talk about that, about how should you react about is that when we talk about time is yours, and especially at the very last minute, and I want to know too if there's any sorts of app that you can use so far as talking about for the very last minute, very last minute decisions. I'm like, yeah, what I'm talking about is like last minute decisions, to where decisions that you do make at the very last minute. And let's just say that if you are going to be having any sorts of conversation with anybody that I'm talking about, to where that the things that you're able to talk about within about maybe, I would say about yeah, within about, maybe 30 seconds or something like that, I can probably just use that right there. Put that right there and say is like, yeah, for 30 seconds. In 30 seconds that you would say is toward, yeah, at the very last minute. At the very last minute that, yeah, at the very last minute. So yeah, so it's like so everybody would even think too that that sounds a little bit maybe like a brain teaser right there, to where what all can you really do maybe at the very last minute, and like everybody might say that talking about within 30 seconds, or sometimes it's even 8 seconds. Really, what can you really do in 30 seconds that you could really think of? And maybe let's just say that, if you got a lot going on one of these days, and let's just say that you're going to be talking and having a conversation with somebody, and, you can't really think straight whenever it comes to talking about things and maybe asking questions and everything. So, really, what is the best way of how to resolve that? Whenever, if you're going to be getting into any source of conversation with anybody, and let's just say that you want to take maybe at least 8 to maybe 25 or maybe 30 or 40 seconds to a minute to talk about some things, and the first thing that's going to come to your mind is that you're going to maybe start the conversation by saying, how's it going, or something like that. And I think I'll tell everybody that that's usually how conversations start out with right here. You got right here is for, hi, how's it going? And so that's why it seems that way. How do you really even spell it? To be quite honest with you, I'm like, for anything logo design or something like that, how's it going right here? And, how's it, how is it going or something like that? You could put that maybe all in one word right there, but still, so every time you think about that, then you're 102, whenever you first meet somebody, for sure, especially if it's going to be at the very last minute, you start remembering things. You start remembering things, maybe something that you haven't thought of before, or maybe something that just came to your mind all of a sudden. And so that's why it seems that way, whenever you do think about that the first thing that you think about is walking along the ocean right here. And so you don't really think about maybe a few of these other things right here, some of these other adjectives. And so in case of anybody's wondering that you're walking along the ocean right here, not everybody's really going to understand maybe what that means. And okay, what about it? You did not even include a subject, or you did not even include an adjective or something like that. And so that's why it seems that way, that every time you do think about that, by the way, that you're 102, that whenever you do start writing about something, that the time is yours, right? And so every time you do think about that, and you're always wondering to where first of all, it's whenever you do write something like walking along the ocean in a complete sentence right here, that it seems that way to where that you just kind of have to read it backwards. You got to read the sentence backwards just to kind of understand, just to maybe think about it. Okay, what do you think this sentence right here would sound like if you were to actually be reading it backwards? And it's ocean that alone walking or something like that. And so if you would actually review some of this right here, and at 102, at the very last minute, minute last very right here. And so I don't know really anybody might even say too that I don't think reading something backwards is really going to resolve anything. But let's just say that if you want to go and try to give it a try, and let's just say that for any verification purposes, that maybe if it's able to unlock a solution to where you're able to come up with a solution to a problem. And so whenever you do read backwards, and maybe whenever you are able to spell, pronounce something, do like a review to where you look back at all the data, collected and all that, but still walking along the beach right here, and then walking along the ocean. And so every time you do think about that, then you're always 102, that if you were to actually look at this, reading this backwards and everything, and you're thinking as toward, okay, you start a conversation with somebody, and you're thinking as toward, you just start remembering things on the top of your head about, that you have conversation with somebody, and let's just say that, you might remember something at the very last minute, or anything, talk about for the uncertainty right here. So every time you do think about that, and you want to know, like, yeah, something new to free your mind, right? And but still, you take the 5 hours available right here, but still, talk about for the ocean right here. So you have right here the detail right here for the water, for the ocean right here, and then you have right here talking about for walking along the beach right here, and so that's why it seems that way to where that yeah, whenever you do while you're walking along, while you're walking, or maybe whenever you are looking at something, that why do you think, yeah, at the very last minute right here, that anybody that might even want to know too, that why do you think that that whenever it comes to something at the very last minute, that you were trying to ask a question, you were trying to talk about something with somebody, but at the very last minute, and then you got distracted with something, or maybe let's just say that there was a lot of things that you were mainly concerned about, or maybe that you mainly wanted to try to work on, or something like that. So that is why it seems that way to where that whenever you do whenever we talk about the ocean right here, that yeah, was it for a vacation or something like that, or something that so that's why it seems that way. That yeah, the very last minute right here, that whenever you do start any source of conversation, for sure, that you begin to wonder to where that whenever you do start a conversation, the first thing that you would probably want to say is that time is yours, so that way you can maybe make the other person feel a little bit more confident with talking with you about something that you've been wanting to talk about, or something like that. Yeah, about the career, especially anything about the job performances, and maybe anything that you've been working on, and anything that explains about what you do and all that. And so that is why it seems that way, that whenever you do think about that, and you're warned to where that okay, yeah, you start out the conversation by saying hi right here, and then you got right here for walking along the beach right here. So in case of anybody's wondering to where that yeah, that whenever you do walk, whenever you're walking along, whenever you are walking with somebody, or maybe talking with somebody about something, especially if you're going to be walking, that it's basically another way of, it's like an exercise, and if you want to basically consider it, it's like it's an exercise. An exercise meaning to where that yeah, you're basically allowing your mind to think straight. You're allowing your mind to actually talk about things and get ideas in mind, and stuff like that. And so that's why it seems that way, that whenever it comes to exercising, right, and walk along the ocean, and then the time is yours. And so that's the type of stuff that like everybody might say that yeah, you might see it on the greeting card, but for sure that you would maybe want to put on a greeting card, that especially if it's going to be on an invitation or something like that. But anyway, but I thought I'd show everybody that, talk about the view of the ocean right there. But anyway, talk about for time is yours. But